Hello, my name's Dave. We're on a new topic today. We're on topic 2, genes and health. Now, if you look at the contents page, we're going to be doing 2.1, the effects of CF on the lungs. Unfortunately, I have CF. You should know CF stands for cystic fibrosis, which is a common genetic disorder, and it primarily affects the respiratory system. If you remember back in topic 1 videos, we were looking at atherosclerosis, which primarily affects the heart and arteries. So our first step was to look in detail at the heart structure. Similarly now, in topic 2, we're going to go into looking at the respiratory system in more detail. So without further ado, I'll pass you on to your hosts, Wayne Lack and James Devet. But remember kids, biology's rawsome.
Hi, we're doing biology from
that book, Excel book.
Yep. And
Draw
like
lots of
Dave
lungs.
says, it's going to structure the heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go on to labelling it. This is primarily a revision of GCSE. There's
It
nothing
is.
new until we get on to these things.
Yep. So there's nothing is new, vaguely. You do get marks for spelling, so you want to spell everything correctly.
Yes.
So we'll start right at the top.
The
Choose
trick
down.
here is that it's a particular hard spelling in terms of if you don't know it, you might get it wrong. It's C-H-E-A.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like it should be that. Then, you should remember from GCSE, it splits into two lungs through two bronchi. Bronchies.
Yeah,
Bronchi.
I'm just going to label the one, so if it's just one, it's bronchus.
Yeah, bronchi for one, bronchus for two.
It's fine.
I was ahead of myself. The next bit goes further into smaller tubes, which is called bronchioles.
Bronchioles.
And they can
Again,
just,
that might be a hard spelling.
that is quite a strange spelling as well. Then it goes even smaller, and we've blown this bit up. It goes into alveoli.
Yes. Now you should know from GCSE, this is the site of respiration. This is where oxygen goes into the blood and carbon dioxide comes out via diffusion, but we get onto that more in a minute.
We do.
We'll keep labelling. We've
We
also
will.
blown up this. The book blows up this bit as well.
Yeah,
so you
it
can
does.
Feel free to take a look at that.
And this
better
is
drawing.
a ciliated epithelial cell.
I'll do this in green.
Ah, okay. Well, the important thing about this is really the ciliated bit, or just cilia. You should remember GCSE, they're sort of like little hairs, little hair follicle things. And they move stuff along, they sort of transport stuff, they push things.
Cilia, yeah.
And in this case it pushes mucus, which we've drawn in green. Bit of a heads up, in CF, the mucus is a little harder to move.
Yes, we get into more detail on topic 2.2. We're only doing 2.1 in this video, as Dave said. But so yeah, just need to know at this stage that it's thick. You need to know at this stage that microorganisms get trapped in the mucus.
Yes, and they're not always good ones, these are called pathogens.
Pathogen ones are the harmful ones.
And if they can't be removed, we get
Yeah. So what you do to get rid of it is you cough and then you swallow the mucus
and then get rid of it.
Yeah. You need to know that. That's a vision for GCSE, but at this stage you need to make sure you know it.
Yeah, as promised, diffusion. And that's how you respire, how that works. There's quite a few things that affect it.
Yeah, first let's swap places.
Alright, let's do that.
So the three primary things that can affect the rate of diffusion, and these things are the concentration gradient, so the difference in the concentration.
Yeah. Because remember from your definition of diffusion, it's the rate of movement from a high concentration to a low concentration. So if the concentration's much higher at one end and much lower at the other end, it'll happen faster.
Yes. The next is surface area. Now the alveoli, you might be thinking, have a tiny, tiny surface area, but there's lots of them, they take up lots of area in the lungs and they all work together.
What fits together with that is surface area to volume ratio, where they have a tiny volume and in comparison the surface area is huge, which is what makes it so fast. Then there's one final thing, which is actually distance.
Distance it has
or
to
thickness. The thickness of the membrane. In this case, it would be the smallest one, would be the capillary, and that'd be 1 cell thick. But
yes, the capillaries are the part that surrounds the alveoli, then that will go to venules, then veins. This is topic 1,
topic
but
one
it
revision.
does link in.
It does.
So there's something called Fick's law, which
There
is
is.
something you have to know.
Yeah.
Fick's law.
This shows the relationship of the rate of diffusion with, well, our things.
Because we're talking through it now, I'm actually going to be a bit lazy rather than writing all of it out. So rate of diffusion, I'm going to put R-O-D. That means rate of diffusion. It's not
Right.
equal to, it's proportional to.
So as these things increase, that will increase. So what it is it's
surface area.
Yeah, surface area times concentration gradient over the thickness or the distance it has to travel through the membrane. And this makes sense. If the thickness is really high, then it's really thick, it'll take ages to get through it.
Yeah.
And if it's small, it won't.
Yeah. So this should make sense, but that's something you have to know. Rate of diffusion is surface area times the concentration gradient over the thickness.
Yeah.
You need to know that.
I think it pretty much sums up.
This actually pretty much sums up 2.1.
Yeah, this is quite a short video, so we won't do a summary.
Yes.
But yeah.
I'll do a quick summary, not a proper summary. I'm pretty busy. I want cookies actually.
I want cookies.
Let's get cookies and cookies and tea.
Cookies.
Hello, it's Dave again. Who are you?
I'm Marcus.
So we're going to do a quick summary because Wayne Lack and James Trevette have gone off to get cookies and tea again. Surprise, surprise.
Fatties.
Not much to know in this. It's a very small chapter, but you need to know your spelling, and you need to be able to label the lungs. Pretty GCSE level.
You do. You got to remember your ciliated epithelial cells.
And you've got to remember what they do and their functions.
Yep. And then alveoli and diffusion.
You've got to know all the things that affect diffusion, and then you can probably remember Fick's law from that.
Yep. And how that changes stuff.
That pretty much sums up this chapter. It's not a huge unit,
No,
and I think they're home.
Oh,
There they are. There they are. They're across the road. They're across the road. They're across the road.
Oh.
They've got favourite chicken, cookies, and cup of tea.
They must be barking mad.
Anyway, this has been Dave, my booby.
And Marcus.